Coming back here today leaves a strange feeling deep inside my belly. This is my old area. My bedroom, just meters away behind me. I remember looking over this balcony, wanting to be someone, when I would see the drug dealers come through with their cars and all the gangsters. And I thought I wanted to be like them, all the gangsters. But I always said to myself deep down, one day that will be me. We used to sit on this wall for hours on end, just talking about nonsense, girls, how we're going to make money and all other things, just dreaming big. A lot of people ended up on drugs from this simple step here, trying cannabis. Next thing they're trying hash, the next thing you know, they're smoking crack, taking heroin, and they've never been able to come back. So sometimes we have to look back at our past and give thanks that we weren't addicted to certain things, because I don't know where I would be today. When you come back here as a big man and you look at the area, it doesn't look as big as it once did to you as a young person. When you look and see some of the elders still around, they looked like giants back then. And it just goes to show you, as a young person, your whole outlook on the world is different. Coming outside to play just to get away from the traumas of life or to escape your house. Who would have thought this is how our futures will turn out? When I came off the plane from Jamaica some 29 years ago and arrived here with my suitcase, a lot of the people never thought I will end up as successful as I am today. When I went to prison, a lot of them signed me off and thought that I would be on the streets with some of my other friends, or maybe dead, or be doing life in prison. The message for a lot of people out there: never sign anyone off, because you never know what the future holds.
Welcome to today's show. We've got an amazing guest, Mr. Clapton, in the studio, and we're going to be taking you down memory lane. We've got a very important conversation with a lot of learning here for parents, carers, and also professionals working with young people. Today's show is going to be amazing. Welcome.
What's going on? Long overdue.
Well overdue, bro. And my thing is this: nothing before its time. Yeah. And we give thanks first and foremost for life and good health, because as we see now where we're at, our age group, a lot of people are ending up dead, a lot of people are sick, and a lot of people are struggling with their mental health. So to be able to be in sane mind and good health is the first thing we give thanks for every day. But this show's going to take a twist, because it's not every day you've got someone that you've gone over 30 years of being friends with. We don't see each other all the time, but regardless whether it's a year, 2 years down the line, the love still remains. You understand? And even reflecting last night, and I'm thinking, rah, even when it went crazy, and we're going to get into that, and you're on one side of the street, I'm on the other side of the street, we were still cool.
Yeah.
You understand? I remember one of my best friends tried to kill you one night. It was like, I'm not getting involved. It's not my business. You understand? Like the two of you kill each other, and I'll be cool with both of you, and that's how we do it. But we've been, and I call it a privilege, to have lived a certain lifestyle where we're still here today to talk about it, and we could look back and see the learning. I remember first year of school. I don't know how it was for you.
Yeah, because I started late. I didn't start when everybody else started because my mum was moving house, innit?
Okay.
When she didn't worry about finding me a secondary school, she was more worried about where we was moving. So I came in late years, like middle year 7.
Okay, so you kind of cheated then, because what I'm going to talk about here is the pressure that we was under from the first day of school. I remember coming into school and walking in, and I knew most of the people then because we either grew up on the estate or they had come primary school with me. And the pressure to fight.
Yeah, standard.
So you had to fight to be top 5 in your class, then top 5 in the year group. And I'm telling you, we're talking about a year group with some wild guys, wild. And then we had some Americans joining us and all of that. It was pressure. It was pressure. And I have to big up Shane on here as well before we even go forward. I remember Shane fighting people in like year 10 when we was in year 7. So
he was a big dude though.
he was big. So hanging out with Shane was fun because Shane was always ready to go. But looking back at that now as a man, it was a toxic environment because even leaving school and then it's like me and you are cool, but once 3 o'clock come, you go with your people them, even though I was with you in the first half. But when it really started becoming to that level where people are getting stabbed and people getting shot, I don't know when it became real for you. For me, I remember when reality hit for me was when the Hackney Downs boys joined our school, because we went to Homerton House by Homerton Hospital. But the school was already a bit edgy. But once the Hackney Downs boys joined, the whole thing just changed.
Yeah, because it was more boys, in it, too much testosterone. There was no girls for us, like, basically. We was all taking out our whatever bad stuff we was having at home on each other.
Yeah.
That was it. And because it was us trying to get a name, and a name when you're young is like a lot to certain people, innit? And that's what we was growing up on. Looking at each other thinking, yeah, how can we get a bigger name than another person? But it's not really made up to be what it's be, innit? Because half of the people that was trying to get a name, they go to work now.
I know. And you know, the sad thing is, it's like, I remember the first person that died. And that's something that, do you remember Enos? There was a youth that we went to school with, kind of big. And he was a couple of years older than us. I remember the school came back one day and said, Enos is no longer with us. And I was thinking, right. Yeah, other people remember him. He was a couple of years older than us. And he passed away. And right, boy, my man's gone. That was like the first death within, for me. And then you look and you think, right, boy, this guy's gone. And you move on. I remember hanging out on Clarence Road in Pembury and just being there at Christmas and going raving. And back then it was safe to go to a house party. Yeah, where you know you're not going to get killed. There's like 30 of us going there. And the only thing we worried about was Tottenham boys coming and shooting us.
Yeah, basically. Because that's the thing that we grew up on, and we wasn't even involved in it.
Yeah.
It was just like a stigma. We hate them and we don't even know what we're hating them for.
I think, again, because a lot of people that might not have grown up in Hackney the time we did, they didn't understand, because now you hear about 20 gangs in the Hackney, 30 gangs. When we were growing up, there weren't no 30 gangs. No. Clarence Road was the place to be. Yeah. Lordship was around. Yeah. And we also had Holly Street. Yeah. And Stamford Hill. Yeah. That I don't know about any other areas.
There was also Shakespeare.
Shakespeare as well.
Kingsmead was involved.
Kingsmead, yeah. We can't forget Kingsmead. But to where it is now, where you got Hoxton gangs, you got Haggerston gangs, and even we talk about London Fields or Mashtown, whatever it's called now, they were all Pembury boys.
Yeah, most of them. Yeah.
You understand? And to me, the Hackney Tottenham problems was a Pembury boy problem.
Yeah.
So for us as young ones hanging out there, it was like, we're not involved in that thing there.
Because we never read out on that thing there.
Yeah, but we still have to be careful.
Yeah, because that's the perception that block gave us.
You understand? And I think that a lot of people didn't understand that. Something else me and another guy was having a conversation about was a lot of these people that went on to become in other gangs now tell lies that they weren't Pembury boys at first.
Yeah, but I heard that. I've watched a lot of podcasts and I see what you're talking about as well, but it's like you should be proud of where you came from, innit? Your upbringing is your upbringing. You can't change your past. You can only build your future to a better future, innit? Like, where you came from. That's about it.
I think something as well that I know a lot of people were shocked of. By the time you met me, I've only been in the country 2 years.
This is my old primary school, Princess May. When I came from Jamaica at age 8, I started school here in year 4. And this is where all my troubles started. The teachers were getting fed up with having to find me extra work because the work that the young people were doing, my age group, I had already done that in Jamaica. But because my birthday was in October, they were struggling to move me a year or 2 above. As a result, I fell into the wrong crowd. And from 8 years old, the teachers were writing things about me. The teachers started getting frustrated with me, having to run to the classes above and ask for work. 2 classes above and ask for work. I remember they called a meeting and they were furious that there wasn't a legal loophole to move me up to year 5 or 6. As a result, I was told to play on the computer. For a young boy coming from Jamaica with no gas, no electric, that was fun to me until I started getting bored. And before long, I ended up outside the classroom with the other naughty boys, playing paper football. A lot of those boys ended up going to secondary school with me and ended up in gangs with me and ended up in prison. Was it our fault? Or did the school let us down?
Yeah, because you come to the school with some mad Jamaican. It was a tough Jamaican accent.
Yeah, I was only here 2 years, so even learning the language, I remember you used to be talking about certain things. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? You understand? Only 2 years I've been here, so when you look at that, how someone's life could change overnight. I remember my dad, 'cause I didn't grow with my mum. My dad said to me that how we're going to send you to a boys' school because we think if no girls are in there, you'll get on well.
Yeah, that's like kind of what my uncle did because he called me a pussy. He said I was a pussy when I was when I was younger because I used to just like playing football and just playing around. You get me? He used to call me a pussy, so he told my mum that he's not going to a mixed school. He has to go to an all-boys school.
Yeah.
In his day, it was called Upton House.
Upton House, yeah.
So he said, nah, he's going home on boys' school. So that's why they sent me there still.
Well, for me, my dad thought that no girls, I'll get some education. But then they never thought of the other side of it where you're now trapped with a bunch of boys in a school and the pressure that comes with that. You understand? I remember people telling you, meet me 3 o'clock in the graveyard and we're going to fight in the graveyard.
You had to be there.
Yeah, and this is a story that I've told people before. Like, how many times has someone had to come to your classroom where you've upset them and it's like 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
And whether you are scared or whatever it is,
You got to be there.
you have to go. And these are the pressures. But, all right, let's look at where we grow to where these children are now. Even my own son, my eldest one. These young people don't want to fight.
No, they're using weapons.
Yeah? When we were growing up, to hear someone got stabbed was a big deal.
Yeah, major deal.
Yeah? And growing up in Hackney, everybody had to learn how to fight.
Yeah.
And whether you're with your friends, you had to fight. A guy caught you by yourself, you're going to have to fight. And if you don't feel to fight, then you run.
Right now.
Yeah, you have to run it and come back. And one of the hardest things for me was giving all of that up. Not gonna lie to you. I think this is something that only one other man apart from yourself would have known. Is when you live in a different area and you're hanging with different people, the pressure was on to hang around with people where I lived.
Yeah.
So obviously we all started out in Pembury, but once that ended, I then went and hung out with the Rowdy Bunch
Yeah,
boys.
divided, yeah.
And it's like I would see you, I would see other people that I grew up with, we go to school together, but it was like, boy, this is the side I'm on.
You picked a side now, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like when I look back, people are like, oh, you was a snake to us, or I remember I used to see certain people and they were like, oh, we don't like Gwenton again.
Yeah, but how I see it, I've been like that side
Yeah.
all my life, innit? Me and you have never had anything. So when man are talking about Gwen and this and Gwen and that, man don't listen to them. Man have to hit your phone straight and be like, what are you talking about, bro? This brother talking shit. Because man come from your era, and your era it's real, innit? It's not no fabrications like half of these youths. Because most of these kids out here, they ain't been through nothing, but they're acting like they've gone through something. And it's probably because of the area they're in. It's not their background, because they go home, they're a different youth.
Different. I think when it came real for me was, I tell you when, and it was recently, a couple of years ago, when Sean died, Fat Sean, or SP. Everyone had a choice to make at that time. I'll tell you what that choice was. Regardless what differences we all had, we all grew together. He was the first guy that died of illness out of our age group. So I looked at that and I said to myself, do I not go or do I go? And I had to come, because not only that, I ended up working with his sister. So I knew his sister through work, and only one day she sent me a message on Facebook. She said, oh, I didn't know you grew up with my brother. I'm in the hospital with him and he's telling me, oh yeah, I go with Gwen. And I thought, right, that's your sister. So it was like, whichever way it went, I would have attended because it was her brother. But now I definitely have to come because I grow in my man. So when I made the decision to come, I weren't thinking, like certain people going to still be upset because I'm being seen as someone from across the road. You understand? So when I come and I see certain people acting, no one said nothing to me, but acting as if they've got an issue with me being there. I was like, what's all this about?
Yeah, I felt the same though, because I ain't been around them brothers for several years and I wasn't going to go. Rest in peace, Sean, same way, but I just don't, I'm not into fake stuff, innit? And the brothers that's there, most of them, like, I'll be real, innit? Are fake, innit? I don't like being around fake stuff, because when my brethren, JD Brissett, passed away, a lot of people had this big ride out that they was going to do stuff, and all to this day, like, I still live with that. Like, that hurt me. Like, that's the reason why I kind of left the roads and done my thing and stayed away from them lot, because they showed me a life that was, your brethren gets hurt, you do something back.
Yeah.
They wasn't doing that. They was doing some next type of living.
But you know why it's good that you raised that? Because that was the first gang death that we had amongst us that could have been prevented.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it didn't need to go that far. I wasn't even outside when that happened. I remember it was Little Patch that called me and said, "Oh, JD's gone," and I was like, "What do you mean gone?" He's like, "Yeah, he's gone," and then named the person that killed him. And I was like, that guy can't kill no one. that was my straight reaction. I said, no, it can't. And I stuck to it. I said, I grew with him. He's not a killer. Yeah, like all of everybody else. If you told me somebody else, I'd have been able to accept that. When I found out that he was one of the main people that done that drive-by, because it was a drive-by, what I learned from that is even cowards kill people.
Yeah.
You understand? And that, for me, hit home where I'm like, this guy couldn't even fight, none of us. But he's now going to jail for murder of something that didn't need to go that far.
No, it didn't.
Yeah? But what you said there was something that we have to look at, and this is where the learning comes in. your friend dies. He was the leader of your group. Because of him, people have then ended up rapping. People have now got podcasts on the back of him because he made them who they were.
Yeah.
You understand? He came along, he came late, he came along and took over the mantle and said, I'm the leader. I'm going to stand forward. But what happened once he died, people was like, I'm not built like that.
But the same lot, they tried to jump out on me, like, and say I had something to do with my brethren's death because one of the youths that went down for my brethren's murder, I used to roll with him on a daily basis, committing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So when they came up to me, I was none the wiser that he was dead. I didn't know what they was talking about. So my face, if it wasn't for my brother, I said, yo, my man don't know what he's talking about, like what you lot are talking about. Then they had to look at me again and explain the situation. Your brethren, blah, 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 was involved in. And I'm like, I don't know what he does on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Bro.
But two things I'm going to say with that is this, and we're not going to just let it slide. Nowadays, you'll be called a dodgy guy.
Yeah.
And I tell you why you'll be called a dodgy guy. If we were rolling and we saw you, we'd be like, nah, he's cool.
Yeah.
Why is it that you, out of all of your lot that was on that side, was cool? That makes you look dodgy. Why is it that when everybody else is getting attacked, nobody attacks you?
Because I'm not involved in you lot stupid, like, I don't even need to be rude, but I can hold my own, innit? So when you lot are getting in you lot's passer, if I can prevent you lot, like, even getting into something, I'm going to try and stop it. But if it's a one-on-one, I'm going to let you have a fight because someone you knocked out back in the day, he was all like he had a coma on the floor. He still holds a grudge till today, big man.
You know what? It's funny. I wasn't even going to talk about that. I wasn't even going to.
Holds a grudge till today.
Look, I wasn't even going to talk about.
This used to be called chimes. A lot of people end up being shot in here, shot outside here. A lot of people lost their life outside these places. So it's about people understanding the historical legacy of these places here. So we go next door. You could still see from the corner, this used to be a club called Palace Pavilion. Here, I think in later days they changed it into a church. And about 20 years ago, 19th birthday, them times the door was here. I've come out the club, all my friends are still inside. When I've walked, heard the bouncer close the door behind me. Some people had problems with waiting in the little alleyway there for me. I tried to run across the road. As I've run across the road, I've ended up getting shot in the arm. Can still feel it under there, but when you think about that, 20 years ago, I could have lost my life. So I've had 20 years extra on my life. We give thanks. So I've run down the road, waiting for my friends to come out the club. Hopefully they would have heard what has happened, come and pick me up, because I was in one of their cars. Even talking about it now is bringing back feelings of that day, because it's like reliving 20 years all over again and thinking, what would have happened if I would have actually died on that day? And I think that's one of the most scariest things to think. I could have died right here on this pavement. And although we're here walking on this pavement, there's people's bloods underneath where we're walking now. Although the rain and the cleaning and everything else makes it seem like it's clean, it's not clean. Because deep embedded in these roads, there's a lot of people's bloods that have not made it through. So when I think about that, I have to give thanks. And being from the other side of the street, Stoke Newton, I had to choose that side of the street and then give up my friends here. So if they saw me on my own, it was whatever it was. If I saw them with my friends from the other side of the street, it was whatever it was. But it was strange because we still had love for each other. Because this is where it all started, Pembury Estate. So this is the playground where everything changed for me. I remember one day I woke up and I said to myself, enough of coming to play football every day. This is all these people want to do. I want to be famous. I want to become someone. I remember leaving and I said to the young people that were my friends at the time,
I'm not going to be coming back here until I'm famous. And I really meant it. I remember I didn't come back until I done my first robbery. And I bought my first car, a blue Fiesta. And I came back feeling like £1 million. And the respect that I got from my friends at that time, it was as if I was now the hero of the estate. A lot of us went to the same school, so after school we just started hanging out with each other. Remember, it was a boy called Tope invited me round here to come to the youth club, and me, him, another boy called Ravi. Me and Ravi still friends up to now. 20 something years on, or 30 something years, we're still friends up to now. It still has the same feeling to it. And you spend like your youth in certain places, certain things never go away. It still has that dark poverty feel to it, even though they've put double glazing in. And a lot of these young people are growing up in those buildings feeling as if they've got no other option but to become drug dealers and gang members. And that's the narrative that we have to change going forward, where these young people need to have hope. Right hand side, you got London Fields. Left hand side, Holly Street. For me, I was caught up in something that I didn't understand. So obviously, as a young person, I grew up in Pembury on Clarence Road. A lot of the Fields boys at that time, they were also Pembury boys. They were one. So when I started hanging out with my school friends from Holly Street, and they then started having problems with London Fields boys, it was strange, because it was like, how do I then pretend to hate people that I actually grew up with? It don't make sense. Yeah. So I think is it?
You can this one as a clean one.
Knife attack, jailed for 15 years. Same stupidness still going on.
Yeah. Would you like?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How much that?
Sorry, 195. So.
Yeah? I'm for the newspaper, yeah? Alright, boss.
It's not. Sir.
Yeah, no, alright. Thanks, yeah?
Sure.
Take care, yeah?
Take care.
Oh, I remember once I'm in Holly Street, 30 Fields boys come with 3 guns to shoot me one. Why? 30 people. And it was only Robin that was there. Everyone else was there from Holly Street. And they were scared, petrified of, how can people come to your own area? You're scared. But that being said, and the reason why it's important to say that, because of our generation, a lot of these little kids now continue that fuel.
Yeah.
A lot of young people have died on the back of that, because they don't understand that me, you, other people, our age group, we're all cool. Because it gets to an age where you say to yourself, you know, I'm going to work, I've got a family, or whatever people want to do. I'm doing my hustling, or I'm going to do my robbery, or I'm going to do fraud. Everyone's got a line of work that they do. So when you've chosen your line of work, you haven't got time to play bad boys. So when these little kids are coming up now, who then stops and says to the young ones, you know what, I've been there, you don't need to go there.
Nah, you got these podcasters that's never really been outside to govern the kids, to teach the kids, but they're out here on the podcast is telling the kids this is what they shouldn't do, but you're not outside trying to prevent them or teach them what not to do, because you've made that 360 transition and you was out on the streets.
But look, you know the hardest time for me in my life, and I'm talking stressed, depressed, feeling pain like I want to cry tears. When I left, I've never been attacked like before in my life. Even now, I'm even thinking about Quentin's a snitch, Quentin's a snake, Quentin's setting people up. And I'm like, where's the evidence of all these things? He's wrote a book called From the Street Scotland Yard. Yes, that was
That's where it started.
No, but listen to this. It was a provocative title that done its job.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah.
But the point is, don't call someone a snitch if they've never snitched on
You,
anyone.
yeah.
Don't accuse people of doing things with no evidence.
But it's like fashion though, man. Them like to follow a trend, innit? Once someone else starts it, that's probably a hierarchy. Probably used to give them stuff, and if he says, "Well, you're a snitch," that rest of them are gonna run with that.
But then the guy that's calling me a snitch, when I'm in the area, is giving me
Yeah,
hugs.
because it's jealousy. He's jealous to watch you progress and do better than it. Because I go through the same thing now. That's why I wear a mask. I don't even want to be seen. I just want to get on with my life
Yeah.
and prosper. But you have people out there that still want to bring you down. But it's you. You're a better man. You don't have to rise to their level.
But you know what? It's easy to say that now. And the reason why I say that, I don't know who's out there today that's going to say, you know what, I'm going to walk away from this. And when you walk away from it, the pain that you get, I've had death threats. I've had people call the police on me. I was at work, left the roads over 10 years. And a man's brother got murdered. He called the police to arrest me for killing his brother.
But you didn't kill his brother.
The guy that done this was a super gangster, not normal gangster. I'm talking like Hackney's biggest bad boy. And I looked at that, I thought, how do you call the police on someone and want to press charges? And then I had another guy who was a big time drug dealer. He got robbed, thrown out the window, whatever, by some podcasters. He then befriended me. I thought, the guy's lonely. He's got no friends. Hackney's abolished him. Let me talk to him. Within 3 months, guys get me mixed up with people I don't talk to. Then he then reports me to the police. I'm thinking,
Jealousy, bro.
but how do you explain threatening to kill someone? The person then tells you, make sure you apologize. Then you call the police. Nobody talks about these things. And I look at that and I think, you know what? Go on and just carry on doing what you're doing, because this is learning for somebody else. It's like, I remember when I come back to the area, you're like, go on and look, don't watch nothing. You're good when you're here. And I'm like, brother, don't watch nothing. I know how to move. I'm not staying there to the end. I know when to cut out. But the point of it is this: for somebody else that wants to give up and move away from that life, need to understand you're going to get death threats. You're going to get people calling the police on you. You're going to get all sorts of things. It's for you not to rise to that.
No, you can't. You just move positive. Stay positive, because you're winning. That's why they're doing what they're doing behind your back. They don't want to see you.
But it is hard. I'm not going to say it hasn't been hard, because I've been tempted many times. When I first decided to change my life, I just thought, let me just come back one more time and do something outrageous to quieten the rest. And that bothered me for probably the first 3 years when I left. And I just thought, I'm going to make example of one person. And what stopped me from doing that is, let's say somebody upset me now and I see them in a party, because you know me, I go everywhere by myself.
Yeah.
And I remember they had a rock boy party after Carnival one year in Clapton. I said, you know what, driving past all these people, where Buds used to be.
Yeah.
I saw these people going in this party. I thought, park up my car and come in. See, when I came in there, people were like, Gwendon, what the hell are you doing in there? I'm like, I'm here to party like everybody else.
I'm from the neck of the woods, and I wouldn't even go to none of their parties. I got love for them rock boys and that, but I wouldn't go to none of their parties.
Listen, I went in there, and from that day, the way that everyone was, oh, what's going on, blah, I said, no, I'm the problem.
Yeah.
When people see you in real life, they behave themselves.
Okay.
And what I say to my son now is this: don't make people provoke you to when you cross the line of no return. You understand? Understand that you can make that money legally. And this is why whenever you say to me, yo, I'm doing my music and other stuff, I'm like, you know what? From where we're coming from, I'd rather you do your music than do what we were doing before. And this is why I've always said to you, look, just make the one hit. Yeah? Make the one hit, because 1, you've lived it, 2, you've survived it, and 3, we've gone through pain that people don't even know about. I remember I was telling someone earlier, it's like, my mum died soon as we left school, bro. Yeah? And I remember people getting on with their mums and living life and acting like life is all good. And I remember when your mum passed away and that, you was messed up. Yeah, because you and your mum were like proper brethren. I've never...
Only child, innit? So I got that
Man,
only child syndrome.
listen, I used to come to your house and man had all the stuff that I was going home wishing that my family would buy me, you know, one of them, man. So when people are like, oh, my man's proper not taking it good, his mum's gone, fam, I knew what it was. But I just put on the front because we're on the road. I can't be coming out telling man I'm feeling away because my mum's gone. One, I didn't grow with my mum. I grew with my mum till I was 8 years old. Then I come to the country and they told me my mum was dead. You get me? So when I'm coming to school, in my head, my mum's dead. You get me? So when she's turned up and I'm 16, I'm like, you mean she's alive? They told me you were dead, and then she lived for another 9 months and then passed out. That messed me up. But because of the way that I've grown, I just blocked it out and thought, you know what, I'm going to hit the roads hard. Mum's gone. I'm ready to die now. And that's when everyone saw the different side of, you don't thought I was playing? Now I'm really playing because I'm ready to die now. And it's like, once I went into that mode, I realized no one really wanted to play with me because it's like, let's turn it up. And then obviously I'm hanging out with certain guys, but I thought that they were naturally turning it up. I didn't know they were on crack.
Yeah, most of the people that we was looking up to when we was younger, they was crackheads. Like none of our...
But I didn't know that. This is what I'm saying to you. I thought these guys are so real. Listen, I used to roll with them and they used to drive with like their gun on the passenger seat. I was like, oh my God, these guys are gangsters. They were police informers.
Most of them, yeah.
They were on drugs. I remember we went out partying and let's say the music was going bam, bam, bam. They were dancing like at a different speed. And I'm like, let me stop for a minute. What are they doing? Everyone's going in the toilet. Don't bring Q in the toilet with you. Like, no, I'm coming in the toilet. What are you not doing in there? Gone in the toilet there. Ooh, sniffing in the toilet, popping pills. I'm like, no wonder why you're hearing different music to me because you're on drugs. And then the next man, I've gone to his house, we're getting dressed, and he's covered in like bandages. So I'm like, what's all of that? And he's putting liquid on himself. So I'm like, what are you doing that stinks? He's like, that's the magic, bruv. And I was like, oh my God. Not only is everyone on drugs, but everyone's doing magic. You get what I'm saying? Because they're like, we're invisible. You're the only one that the police can see. So when we're going out doing mad stuff on the high road, the cameras can't even see us because the liquid we've put on us has made us invisible. And I'm like, you know what? I need to get away from you, Zot. So when you see me pull away from even them and they started dying, I never said nothing to no one because I'm thinking this is the repercussion of playing on the dark side. We've got young people now playing with the dark side because nobody tells them about repercussion. They just think, oh yeah, I'm going to go and pay this woman or this man. They throw some liquid on me, I have to walk with something in my pocket and nothing happens after. It's not a joke, yeah? And this is what I tell all the youths that I'm working with or even my own family members. Anyone trying to introduce you into that lifestyle, I beg you allow it. Because when the consequences come back, you might not be able to deal with that. And all this drugs business, you're getting high and then the next minute you know you can't make the money again. So then your own friend wants to kill you because what? It's just stupid.
Yeah.
So that being said, and same way we start off and the same way we're gonna end this, listen, I'm happy that we're here to have this conversation. And I hope that any youths out there seeing this is out of how much of us? How many people still alive?
A few of us still there.
How many people still talk to each other?
Not a lot.
All right. How many people still jamming on the same block? Yeah? And how many people got children with the same girl?
Stop it.
All of their kids are cousins. You understand? And the reason why I have to mention that, because there's a new set of youths out here that are going to go through the same cycle. And if one of them could learn before it gets dark, our job's done.
I hear that.
You get what I'm saying? So for me now is, what is your plans going forward? What have you got in the pipeline?
I've got a couple singles that I'm trying to release, and really just gonna fall back and just get on with life. I'm a family man, really, but
Yeah.
with me, when the mask comes on and you don't see the music, you don't know what I'm about, innit?
And if someone wanted to come and look at your music, where would they find you?
Just find me on. I'm the only person called Mr. Clapton. That's what you gotta do. Look for Mr. Clapton, and you should see me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and all of that.
And also as well, for anyone out there that has gone through something, this isn't just rapping for the sake of rapping.
No, this is like my therapy.
Okay. So it's a way of looking at cleansing one's soul and
Yeah.
overcoming all the darkness. Yeah? So we're not just here doing music. We're going to be doing workshops as well. And the book's coming soon, because that's something that you've kept quiet. So we're going to be looking at an audio book coming out. And then after the audio book, we do the paperback and put it out there, because I think your journey is one that a lot of people could learn from and a lot of people could benefit from. You understand?
But I've been there from the start of this. They don't respect it, but soon they're gonna.
Yeah?
Still.
So that's what we're looking at. So over the next 12 to 18 months, there'll be new music coming out. There'll also be the audio book coming out. So anyone wants to tap into that, you'll get a little taster of the chapters coming out.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. So check out Mr. Clapton on all local and national and international platforms.
Pick up yourself for having me, man.
Come on, brother. It's always love. So for the viewers out there, today we've had a show where we've gone down memory lane and we look at where things start. Do we blame the educational system that put a bunch of boys in a school that was destructive? The school was later closed down. This is something that I didn't touch on, for mismanagement of funds. So that says it all. Where was the money going that was meant to be for the school trips and the education? In people's pockets. I remember teachers driving Audi TTs to school when we didn't even have proper IT systems. We have to look at the decision that Mr. Clapton made, refusing to choose sides. It wasn't easy, because a lot of people get attacked for trying to play both sides, but you have to learn to be an individual and do what is right for you. And also for the parents and carers out there, understand what we're talking about here and take more honest view and responsibility for your children when they're out there in the community. Thank you for watching. This is The Gwenton Show.
I'm going through my phone, getting rid of liabilities, cause if they ain't helping my pocket, then I ain't with it. So I'm outside and you know I'm trying to get it. Any means necessary till I'm in the cemetery. I don't know who's real anymore, so more time you might find me on my own, back to basics. Flavors in my blue slims trying to get faded. I hardly ever drink, so when I do I'm getting wasted. The real can relate, so this ain't for the fake. I'm a gangster and gentleman, listening to Styles speak. I've been outside from the age of 13. I started getting high and watching time fly by. Now I'm at the stage of thank the Lord I'm still alive. Cause I could've died, I got birded with life. The roads are a myth-free, Jerry, that's my homie. 20-something years before he's ever coming home, G. And that's just parole, yeah, I feel it for my bro. Plus my other homie, yeah, Mikey, that's my brody. IPP, what the fuck is going on? He's done 17 years from 2.5. And he's still in jail, what he doing to my dog? Plus free Spike, that's a killer that I know. I tell him calm down, I just wanna see him home. So much has changed, I can't show them through a phone. So I put in my track so they can hear it and they know. I got them to the dance, so don't ever ask me why. Cause I'm nothing like most, I don't do this for clout. I do this for my brothers, got it locked and I'm about. Freedom is a must, so it's freedom to the out. The trenches ain't easy, so you gotta stay positive. I'm a real East boy that was raised up in Murder Mile, where guns bust and people really make it out.